So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And we are underway from Ford Field. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
They'll dump this off to Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now, this defense for the Lions, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Cousins now from the 50. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Levi Onwuzurike. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Vikings send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Lions will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback. Throwing on first down is Brady. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The numbers for Smith last time out, 23 carries, 113 yards, and a score.
Definitely productive, including scoring his 14th touchdown of the season last week. It's going to be fun to watch the matchup now because he has a nose for the end zone. So if you're a defender, what's your job? Keep him out.
From just shy of midfield, Brady got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Lions at 9-4 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A first down carry for Smith. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Smith trying to run for it. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at second and goal.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Smith once more. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line.
They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal.
Here we go now with Smith. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And Hill will opt for the touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss.
Here's Cook again.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with third and 11 coming up.
Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
See, T.J. Hawkinson has his team, his offense, set to begin another drive here.
You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards, obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to...
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now here's the former Lion, Matt Prater, on for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Prater's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. That's good for 28 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it.
Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call. He's thrown that red challenge flag. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. A give to Smith out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady now to throw. And that one caught downfield by Boyd. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out. So the challenge there unsuccessful, and that means that he'll be out of challenges for the remainder of this ball game. Inside handoff, Smith, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 2nd down, here's Smith again, and he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Throwing now is Brady. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Lions are going to have first and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Smith is into the end zone. Touchdown Lions. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and is showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. He'll going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Well, it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to be brought down short of first at about the 31-yard line. They'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Smith up the middle. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
On 2nd down, here's Smith again.
And a short gain down to about the 33. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Here's a give to Smith. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line.
50 yards rushing for now to this point.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On second and a couple, Brady. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Flushed out right. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw, it's Brady. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And in for the Lions. Touchdown. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the 3rd. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw into the hands of Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Down to about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Brady's throw there complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now Brady bounces forward on the jet sweep. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. It's Williams on the catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 14. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A handoff to Smith. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Smith, and he'll find his way down right around the 12. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Shark's got it left side. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And Hill will opt for the touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
I believe I could see what they were trying to the defenders, we're often taught 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did get points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Again, it's Smith. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's Brady. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football.
They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7. Now at Ford Field, it's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Brady. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 24.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
A first down throw for Cousins. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Looking sideline, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins again. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now Cousins. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10. Cousins. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
I remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Running for it, here's Cook. And he is going absolutely nowhere, in the wrong direction. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Brady. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
That confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. They're going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Cousins' throw complete to Rager. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. To Sean Wharton, never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Talk about two sides of the ball across purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gain on his sights, but he could not reel it in. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Brady going to look to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. This is Smith. And he'll get inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now Brady. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And Hill will opt for the touchback. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Aiden Hutchinson
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
They're trying for Lega, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. On third down, here comes Swift.
And some room to work. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Let's call this back there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward and pick up that first.
This was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for Detroit,